The Anderson Tech holiday party was in full swing at their gleaming downtown headquarters. Snow dusted the shoulders of my simple black coat as I approached the main entrance, where valets were parking Teslas and Porsches. Staff entrance is around back. The security guard blocked my path, nodding toward the service alley. Catering and cleaning crews used the loading dock. I glanced through the glass doors where my family stood in the lobby. My sister Emma, newly promoted to VP of Marketing, pretended not to see me. My brother James, head of business development, actively turned away. "I'm here for the party," I said quietly, showing my invitation. The guard barely glanced at it. Like I said, service entrance. Management's orders. My phone buzzed. A notification from Aria, my AI trading algorithm. Acquisition phase complete. Transfer of ownership executing. "Is there a problem here?" My father's voice boomed as he strode over, his custom suit impeccable as always. As CEO of Anderson Tech, his word was law in this building. "For now. Just directing the help to the proper entrance," the guard replied. Father's lips thinned. "Sarah is, technically family." He said it like an admission of an unfortunate fact. "But yes, please use the staff entrance. We have important clients arriving." I nodded, tucking away my invitation, the one they'd only sent because Mother insisted it would look bad, to exclude me entirely. As I walked toward the alley, I heard James laugh. "Still can't afford a decent outfit. All that time playing with computers instead of getting a real job." The loading dock was crowded with catering vans. Kitchen staff gave me sympathetic looks as I made my way through storage rooms and service corridors. My phone buzzed again. Ownership transfer complete. Board notification executing. I emerged into the party just as chaos erupted. "Mr. Anderson." The CFO burst through the crowd, face pale. "Sir, we're getting reports. The company, we've been bought." The champagne glass slipped from my father's hand. "What? That's impossible." "By whom?" "Some tech consortium. Quantum Dynamics. The acquisition was just finalized. $4.2 billion hostile takeover. Find out who's behind this." Father roared. "Call our lawyers." My phone lit up one final time. Board member protocols activated. New ownership structure implementing. The CFO's tablet chimed. He stared at it, then at me, eyes widening. "Sir, the controlling interest." "Hello, Father," I said softly, pulling out my CO badge for Quantum Dynamics. "Shall we discuss the merger?" The room fell silent. Emma's designer clutch hit the marble floor. James choked on his champagne. "This is a joke," Father said, but his voice shook. "You can't possibly." "The help desk girl," someone whispered. "She owns Quantum." I smiled slightly, remembering all the times they'd mocked my obsession with AI development. The endless lectures about how I was wasting my computer science degree on meaningless projects. "Your security team will be receiving new protocols," I said, nodding to the guard who'd turned me away. "Starting with updated entrance policies." Father's face had gone from red to white. "Sarah, how did you?" "Aria," I replied. "My AI trading algorithm. The one you called a hobby last Christmas. She's been acquiring your company piece by piece for months. You just never noticed because you were too busy laughing at my little coding projects." The room erupted in chaos as phones started ringing. Board members getting notifications. Executives realizing their new boss was the woman they'd banished to the service entrance. And my family? They stood frozen as years of condescension and dismissal crashed down around them like broken champagne glasses on marble floors. The next 30 minutes transformed the holiday party into a corporate earthquake. Board members huddled in corners, frantically checking their phones. Executive assistants scurried about, updating placards and seating arrangements. And my family, they stood like statues watching their empire crumble. "The board meeting will begin in 10 minutes, I announced, straightening my cheap blazer. Actually a custom Brunello Cucinelli piece that cost more than James's car. "I suggest everyone check their new security clearances." As if on cue, every badge in the room flashed red, then recalibrated with new access levels. Father's executive override, revoked. James's all-area access, restricted. Emma's executive suite privileges, downgraded. "This is absurd," Father finally sputtered. The board won't stand for this. The board. I pulled up a holographic display from my watch. You mean the one that now includes Dr. Elena Rodriguez? The AI expert you fired last year for being too ambitious. Emma stepped forward, her marketing VP confidence cracking. Sarah, be reasonable. You can't just walk in and... Actually, I can. I swiped through the display. Arya has been managing your department's campaigns for months. Those record-breaking numbers you took credit for? My algorithms work. James laughed nervously. Come on, sis. Your little trading bot couldn't possibly. Arya, I commanded, display acquisition timeline. The hologram expanded, showing thousands of microtransactions, strategic purchases, and calculated market moves. Each one a piece of the puzzle they'd been too arrogant to see forming. While you were mocking my computer games, I continued, Arya was learning, evolving, trading. She identified Anderson Tech's vulnerabilities months ago. Your outdated security protocols. Your inefficient resource allocation. I glanced at father, questionable accounting practices. The color drained from his face. My phone chimed. Speaking of which, the SEC would like to discuss some interesting patterns they've discovered. Don't worry, I've already scheduled the auditors. The CFO approached cautiously, tablet trembling in his hands. Ms. Anderson, the Q4 projections you requested. Peterson, I corrected. I took mother's maiden name when I started Quantum. Didn't want any family connections affecting my work. He nodded frantically. Miss Peterson, of course. The numbers show a 40% inefficiency in current operations. I know. I took the tablet, making adjustments with quick swipes. Arya identified 2,847 redundancies in the system. Let's start with the executive bloat. James clutched his designer tie. Executive bloat? Like the 3 vice presidents of business development, all managing the same accounts. I smiled slightly. Tell me, brother, when was the last time you actually closed a deal yourself instead of taking credit for your team's work? The room had grown uncomfortably quiet, decades of corporate hierarchy dissolving in minutes. The board meeting will now commence, announced a smooth AI voice, Arya, speaking through the building systems. All former executives, please check your new assignments and reporting structures. Father stepped forward, desperation cracking his CO mask. Sir, please. We can discuss this as a family. Family. I turned to face him fully. Like when you made me use the service entrance. Or when you told investors I was just IT support at last year's gala. The memory of that night flickered across his face. Me in a simple dress, testing Arya's beta version on my phone while they networked with billionaires. Billionaires who now worked for me. The new organizational chart is now available. Arya announced as phones throughout the room pinged with updates. The shocked gasps told me they were seeing it. My name at the top. Father demoted to regulatory compliance. James reassigned to entry-level sales. Emma moved to junior marketing analyst. But my corner office, James whispered, is being converted to a coding lab. I finished. Your new desk is in the open floor plan, near the staff entrance you're so fond of. The boardroom had never felt so small. 23 executives crammed around the mahogany table, their Rolexes and designer suits suddenly feeling like costumes in a play that had ended. My family occupied one corner, their usual seats of power now filled by my team. Let's begin, I said, taking the CO chair, my father's throne for 30 years. Arya, initiate full systems integration. The room's screens lit up with cascading code. Decades of Anderson Tech systems merged with Quantum's advanced architecture. Father watched his legacy dissolve into my innovation. First order of business, I continued, the rebranding. Anderson Tech becomes Quantum Solutions effective immediately. You're erasing our name? Mother's voice cracked from the visitors section. She'd arrived late, probably expecting to make her usual grand entrance. Instead, she'd needed visitor clearance. The name was actually gone 3 months ago. I pulled up acquisition documents. When Arya began buying shell companies, each one a piece of the puzzle you were too busy mocking to notice. James leaned forward. Those training seminars I attended in Singapore were run by my company. The basic coding you complained about? was actually testing our new AI protocols. I smiled slightly. You failed, by the way. Spectacularly. Emma's marketing reports trembled in her manicured hands. The client list, it's completely different. Because your loyal customers have been working with Quantum for months. I displayed their contracts. They followed the innovation. While you were planning charity galas, I was revolutionizing their industries. Father's fist hit the table. This is corporate theft. No, I corrected softly. This is corporate evolution. Arya, show them Project Phoenix. The screens filled with designs for quantum computing architecture so advanced it made Anderson Tech's best work look like calculator apps. My family's faces reflected in the gleaming displays, showing every micro-expression of dawning comprehension. The Silicon Valley contracts, James whispered. The government partnerships. All quantum. I nodded. Those meetings you were too busy for? Or with my teams? The small tech startups you dismissed? My subsidiaries. The CFO cleared his throat. The quarterly projections under the new structure are conservative, I finished. Arya predicts 300% growth within 18 months. Once we clear out I glanced at my family, unnecessary complications. Emma's perfect composure cracked. What does that mean for us? It means, I stood straightening my jacket, welcome to entry-level positions. You wanted me to learn the business from the ground up? Now it's your turn. The doors opened as my executive team entered. Brilliant minds I'd recruited from the margins. The analyst father had fired for being too disruptive. The programmer James had called unrealistic. The designer Emma had dismissed as not our type. Meet your new supervisors, I announced. They've earned their positions through innovation, not inheritance. Mother dabbed at her eyes with a monogrammed handkerchief from a luxury brand I'd acquired last spring. But where will we sit? The open floor plan, I replied. Near the staff entrance. I hear it builds character. Father's face had aged years and hours. The family shares were transferred months ago. Check your portfolio. I displayed the transaction records. Arya is quite thorough. The room fell silent as decades of power dynamics inverted. The family that had banished me to back doors and service entrances now sat at the bottom of an org chart topped by my name. One last thing, I added, picking up a stack of badges. Your new security clearances. Don't worry about remembering which entrance to use. I smiled. The AI system will guide you. The badges clattered onto the table like falling dominoes. Each one a reminder that the help desk girl now controlled their access to the building they once owned. The all-hands meeting starts in 10 minutes, I announced. In the main auditorium, where I'll introduce the company's new direction to all 5,000 employees. I checked my watch. A subtle Patek Philippe that cost more than their combined salaries. Do try to be punctual. Arya doesn't like tardiness. As they filed out, shoulders slumped, I caught my reflection in the boardroom's window. Not the daughter they'd dismissed, but the CEO who'd outmaneuvered them all. The staff entrance would still be there tomorrow. But now they'd be the ones using it. The auditorium hummed with nervous energy as 5,000 employees waited for the announcement. My family huddled in their newly assigned seats, row 27, section C, far from their usual VIP spots. From the stage I could see James fidgeting with his downgraded security badge, Emma obsessively checking her now limited email access, and Father staring straight ahead, his CEO persona cracking like old paint. Welcome to the first day of Quantum Solutions, I began, my voice carrying through the perfect acoustics. Many of you know me as the IT support girl. The one who fixed your computers. The one who used the service entrance. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Security footage played on the massive screens. Scenes of my family directing me to back doors, service elevators, staff quarters. What you didn't know, I continued, was that while fixing your systems I was learning them. Building something better. Creating Arya. The lights dimmed as my AI assistant took control of the presentation. Holographic displays materialized, showing the company's complete digital transformation. Every keystroke, every login, every transaction for the past 3 years has been monitored, analyzed, and optimized by Arya. She identified inefficiencies, predicted market trends, and executed the perfect corporate takeover. In row 27, Emma's perfectly manicured hand flew to her mouth as her own marketing reports appeared, showing how Arya had been secretly driving her department's success. Those record profits you've been celebrating? The innovative campaigns. The mysterious market insights. I smiled slightly. Oh, Arya. All part of the transformation you were too busy mocking to notice. James slumped lower in his seat as his failed projects appeared next to Arya's corrections, showing how my system had been quietly saving the company from his mistakes. Starting today, every department will integrate with Arya's protocols. Every decision will be data-driven. Every position. I paused, looking directly at my family, will be earned through merit, not birthright. The screens filled with the new organizational chart. Gasps echoed as employees saw their former executives relegated to entry-level positions. Mr. Anderson. Excuse me, James, your new desk is in sales support. I believe you know the way to the staff entrance. Nervous laughter rippled through the crowd. James's face flushed red as his new colleagues turned to stare. Emma, you'll be joining the junior marketing team. Your first task is analyzing why Arya's automated campaigns outperformed yours by 300%. My sister's designer pen snapped in her grip. And father. I turned to the man who'd ruled this company with an iron fist. You'll be heading up our new compliance department. Every decision subject to Arya's oversight. Every move monitored for. I smiled, historical patterns of nepotism. The color drained from his face as decades of questionable promotions and family favoritism appeared on screen. For the rest of you, I addressed the wider audience, your roles will be evaluated based on actual performance. Arya has already identified the true innovators among you. The ones overlooked because they used the wrong entrance, wore the wrong clothes, came from the wrong schools. My new executive team took the stage, brilliant minds I'd recruited from the company's shadows. The maintenance worker who'd coded revolutionary solutions on her lunch breaks. The janitor with 3 secret patents. The security guard with a PhD in quantum computing. Welcome to the meritocracy, I announced. Where innovation matters more than last names. Where service entrances lead to corner offices. Where an AI named Arya decides your worth based on what you do, not who you know. Mother's pearls clicked against her collar as she whispered to father, the charity ball next week. Surely we're still hosting. Actually, I cut in, my voice carrying perfectly through the sound system. Arya has repurposed the ball's budget. Instead of canapes and champagne, we're funding scholarships for underprivileged tech students. The screens showed the new initiative, named after the cleaning staff who'd let me use their break room to work on Arya's code. Your new assignments begin immediately, I concluded. Door access has been updated. Parking spots redistributed. Office allocations revised. The audience rose, a mix of fear and hope on their faces. One final note, I added as my family stood to leave. The main entrance is now reserved for those who've earned it. Everyone else. I smiled, remembering every cold walk down that service alley. I hear the staff entrance builds character.